Tom Ogle. In 1978, at the age of 19, a young man called Tom Ogle stumbled upon an invention by pure luck that could have changed the automotive industry. It all started when he was fiddling around with his lawnmower and accidentally punctured a hole in its fuel tank. As opposed to patching it up, he used a vacuum line and ran it from the tank straight into the carburetor inlet. Ogle was amazed when the mower kept running but the fuel level hardly moved, and it continued to tick over for 96 hours straight on half a tank of fuel. Over the next 5 years, Ogle made hundreds of experiments on his own Ford Galaxy, but removed the carburetor and fuel pump and replaced them with a secret box he called a filter, and the car went from over 20 miles per gallon to 100. Ogle maintained he was able to achieve this due to his secret pressurized and vaporized fuel system that injected fumes directly into the engine's firing chamber, meaning the device would not only get incredible mileage, but exhaust emissions were also practically non-existent. Now at age 24, he notified the press of his invention and claimed he was going to showcase it by driving from El Paso, Texas to Deming, New Mexico, aiming to complete the 200-mile trip on just 2 gallons of gas. Reporters and experts turned up to witness this feat and inspected his car for hidden fuel tanks, and when they were unable to find any discrepancies and Ogle made the journey, he was hailed as the inventor of an energy-saving device that also cleaned up emissions. However, despite the initial excitement and funding, there were rumors that other people had similar patents, including General Motors, who had patented a similar device several years earlier. All of a sudden, everyone who shared Ogle's passion for his fuel and emission-saving process started to wipe their hands with him and suggested it would never work. His royalties and payments stopped, and the man who was once offered $25 million by Shell Oil was broke. His marriage ended and he became dependent on drink and drugs. Then in 1981, Tom was shot outside of a bar in El Paso and died late that night at a friend's apartment. His death was recorded as a suicide after autopsy reports indicated he had overdosed on drugs and alcohol, although many of his friends said he would never have killed himself despite his current struggles, and that he had been saying for a while that he thought someone was putting drugs in his drink. The person who shot him was never found. Many questions still remain about Tom Ogle, like who shot him, why were no cars ever fitted with his invention, and what happened to the so-called patents for similar fuel-saving devices. In Tom's own words, when asked if he was afraid of oil companies or the Arabs coming after him, he responded with, "No, not anymore, I've had too much publicity. If I kept my invention a secret, I might be worrying, but there's nothing to worry about anymore." The question is, was Tom right, and was his invention that well known? Or is this the first time you've heard about it?